If I may, I'll tell you the problem with
podcast
that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of
podcasters
to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location thousands of fathoms beneath the sea, this is the Deep Dive Podcast.
All ahead 1/3, up scope.
Battle stations.
Battle stations!
Hello, divers, and welcome to a very special episode of the Deep Dive Podcast, the only podcast guaranteed to cure leprosy.
Wow. Is that scientifically proven?
Also not FDA approved yet.
Oh, all right then. Wow.
My name is Manda, co-host extraordinaire, famed beauty and lover of all things dinosaur, but of course you already knew that. And with me is my great buddy Tom Feeney.
A somewhat lesser fan of the dinosaur, but I'm here nonetheless.
And you're also a cool dad.
I am a cool dad.
You're a cool dad. Also a writer for Wingstop Movie Magazine.
Yes. A new issue out at some point in the future.
On Amazon.com. But if you like us, we would love for you to go ahead and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. You can reach out to us on our various social medias. Also, we love feedback. Go ahead and email us at thedeepdivepodcast@gmail.com.
Just remember, we only read positive feedback. Negative feedback, we ignore completely. So, just so you're aware of that, that just helps us out
That's fair.
With ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving
egos.
disclaimers. Yeah. I mean, if we're nothing if not honest.
Right. And honestly, if you don't like the show, I don't want to hear about it.
As I was saying, very, very special episode today. Do you know why?
Oh, I think I do, because this is something you've been begging to do since episode 1.
That is true, actually. There's about 7 clips of me asking for this episode.
Yes, there are.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, it is the episode you have all, let's face it, all been waiting for.
And by all, we mean Manda.
Yeah, okay. We're going to talk about dinosaurs. Woohoo! Dinosaurs! I am so pumped that I would like to say that I'm full of air, but that doesn't sound very... Never mind. I'm just really excited.
Yes, I can tell. And for those of you who are not watching and just listening because it's only an audio podcast, Manda has dressed for the occasion entirely in Jurassic Park gear.
I have. I've got some Jurassic Park PJs, a t-shirt on. I considered wearing my socks, but I thought I don't want to be too overkill.
Right, and you have face painted as a dinosaur.
Yep. Now, can you guess which one?
Dilophosaurus?
Close. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
So we're going to discuss some really cool selections for you that perhaps aren't as well known, which of course is the whole point of our podcast, is it not?
Right.
We go ahead and discuss some of our favorite obscure moments across social and streaming medias that you can find later and then thank us.
Exactly. Like that time when you picked Zootopia.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it wasn't like that. But
minus that one time, okay? I literally knew that was going to come back at me at some point.
Yes, you did.
But in any case, so this time I decided, I could go for Jurassic Park. Everyone knows I kind of like that movie.
And everyone knows that it is a movie.
Exactly. So I figured, I got to stay away from it. But, it might rear its head at some point, so do not lose faith, my friends.
All right, then.
All right, so I decided I've got a couple of things I want to talk about, but they could get a little bit lengthy, let's be honest here. Okay. I'm going to be so kind, like I am, the Kindosaurus. Oh. And I'm going to let you go ahead and share your first pick.
Thank goodness. I'm glad I brought snacks for this. So, there's a time-honored tradition in the motion picture business, and it's a little something called plagiarism. Of a sort, okay? I'm going to qualify this. So there's a trend where movie producers will take a look at what big budget blockbusters are in production And then, in the time it takes for that film to get released, they will shoot a quickie ripoff version of that big movie and then rush that film out into theaters.
Lame.
Well, it's just a cash grab mostly.
Right.
Recent examples of this are films such as Transmorphers, Alien vs. Hunter, and The Da Vinci Treasure. Yeah. So, and all of these come from the same company, which is called The Asylum. They are known for producing what are called mockbusters, which is they will take, we've got this big movie coming up. Let's do a ripoff of it. And release it on video or the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever to make a quick buck.
So it's kind of like when you go to the dollar store, you're looking for Sunny D, but all you can get is Tampico.
Basically, yeah. Exactly.
I kind of like Tampico, though.
Yeah, I figured. In any event, my pick has kind of a similar pedigree.
Okay.
So my pick is the 1993 dino flick Carnosaur.
Really?
Now, this is not about cars that transform into dinosaurs.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
I'm so glad you picked this.
Now, see, this movie actually predates Jurassic Park in its release.
Right.
But not in its inception. The movie itself is actually based on a novel just like Jurassic Park is.
Right.
And this novel came out years before Michael Crichton's novel. And there's some interesting similarities there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so basically the novel deals with this, reclusive billionaire. He's got a private zoo. He's using ancient DNA to make dinosaurs.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, not for a theme park, but just for himself.
Okay.
And, something goes wrong, all hell breaks loose, and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And then years later, Michael Crichton came out with the novel Jurassic Park. So it's kind of interesting. But even though the novel predates Michael Crichton's, the movie sort of was that the rights to the book were purchased by Roger Corman, who is the king of the B movies.
Yeah.
He has made countless B movies in his career and been very successful at it. So he bought the rights to Carnosaur. So when he found out about Jurassic Park, he was like, oh, here we go. I'm going to shoot this little no-budget version of this novel and release it to take advantage of the hype for Jurassic Park. And that's exactly what he did. The screenwriter changed a lot of the plot from the book. He basically, took the whole thing and just threw it out and started over again. And they had the rights so they could just do whatever they wanted with it.
Sure.
But in the movie version, there's a mad scientist, like you do. Is there any other kind, really?
Yeah.
They're all pretty mad. So this mad scientist is using genetically modified chickens to hatch dinosaurs. So basically injecting the chickens with dino DNA, they hatch eggs. The eggs create or produce dinosaurs, right? Now, this is part of this, of course, mad scientist, ridiculous plot to replace the human race with dinosaurs.
Oh.
I know.
Shame.
We should just all live together in peace.
I know.
The Earth was not made for us. She was made for the dinosaurs. The Earth was scaled to their dimensions. Human beings are ants crawling through their living rooms.
So you're going to give the Earth back to the dinosaurs?
Well, you might say that.
That's really fabulous. Like a great theme park. Instead of curiosity. Why?
Why?
Oh, just imagine an ugly, cancerous, gray planet littered with the dying remnants of biological life as we know it. I actively worked on that in industry and in government. The Earth isn't ours to destroy.
I want a pet dinosaur.
I would love a pet Diplodocus.
My cat, however, would probably not enjoy sharing the house with a dinosaur.
No. I mean, not for long, at least.
Not for long, at least. Maybe a little...
Oh, rest in peace, Pumpkin.
Sorry, kitty. I didn't mean to do it. I kind of did, though.
Yeah.
So one of these genetically engineered dinosaurs, a Deinonychus, escapes and goes on this killing rampage, right? And so an environmentalist and a night watchman. Hey, there's an idea for a TV show. An environmentalist and a night watchman join forces to solve crimes.
Or to protect the wall.
Or, yeah, exactly. Whatever you got, So they, work together to try to stop this scientist from destroying humanity. Mm-hmm. And that happens all the time. Now, this movie culminates in a final battle between a T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
And a backhoe loader.
What?
So basically the tractor thing.
Right.
And
it's always a T-Rex.
It's always the T-Rex. Well, you got to have the big bad, you know what I'm saying? And this fight between the T-Rex and the backhoe loader is almost shot for shot the same scene as in Aliens when the alien queen fights Ripley in the power loader.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This is like one of those Disney things where they just copied the frame by frame.
Pretty much. I mean, that's, Now, I got to say, though, Carnosaur is a pretty cool little low-budget movie. Mm-hmm. Now, for Roger Corman, this was a big-budget movie because it cost about $850,000.
Wow.
Which, at the time, we're talking about 90s, was, considerable for a low-budget movie. But, of course, all of the money pretty much went into the special effects.
Sure.
Now, Roger Corman, who, he's a veteran. He's been around a long, long time. Not about to use computer effects. Because, first of all, he didn't have access to any of that kind of stuff. And even still, Jurassic Park kind of pioneered that whole thing. So what does that leave Roger Corman with? So,
Stop motion?
That was the first idea. But they couldn't really do stop motion because the time it would take to do the stop motion would mean they wouldn't be able to release the film in time to take advantage of Jurassic Park's hype.
Right.
So it is all puppets and animatronics.
Okay.
And they're actually not bad for that kind of movie. I mean, it's I give them all the credit in the world for at least trying to make it look good.
Sure.
To have the puppets and the animatronics do what they're supposed to do without looking too cheesy.
It gives it some kind of legitimacy.
It does, and I'm
rather
riding
the coattails of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and I'm kind of nostalgic for that kind of stuff. The practical effects.
Yeah,
not the CG stuff, but because now every crappy low budget movie can afford to have some CG effects.
Right.
And I get it, but it's fine. The movie's also kind of bloody. Yeah, it's pretty bloody. Mm-hmm. And for like this kind of movie, it doesn't, it's not sanitized. It's not it's not pre-hysteria. Oof. Yeah.
Oh, man. I still stand by that choice.
Oh, I know you do. Oof. And it has a very kind of a downbeat ending. Mm-hmm. But it's worth a look just for almost the nostalgic feel of it.
Yeah.
Now, as I said before, the only reason this movie existed in the first place was because of Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Now, they managed to get the film briefly released in theaters about 4 weeks before Jurassic Park came out.
Right.
And it made a pretty respectable couple of weekends at the box office for its low, it wasn't released widely, but it did pretty well for the time and the place that it was released for the couple of weeks or so. But it really made its mark on home video after it came out on VHS and, DVD after that and all that. So, it has its place in dino movie history.
Appreciated.
It also spawned several sequels, including Carnosaur 2, great title, and Carnosaur 3, Primal Species. So, yeah.
Carnosaur.
Now, it's not, like I said, it's not the best movie in the world.
Right.
Yeah. The Internet Movie Database gives it a 3.5 out of 10.
Ouch.
Oh, no. The best is yet to come. Rotten Tomatoes is a whopping 11%.
Wow.
I know. I don't think that's fair. I really don't. I'm not happy with that.
Wow. 11%.
Let's get that up, shall we, listeners?
Yeah.
Come on now. We could do it. No, I'm just...
do you care really that much?
I don't.
No, but it's a good flick. I
like it a lot. Now, here's the problem. It's not available on any of the normal streaming services for rent. However, all 3 Carnosaur movies are available as of this recording for free on YouTube.
It's always a place where you can find these things.
I know. It's great. I mean, while they're there, sometimes they come and go.
Right.
But if you want to check it out, if you want to have a nice Carnosaur weekend, you can binge watch all 3 movies. It ain't going to take that much time. Sorry
Eat a
to say.
steak while you're doing it.
Exactly. Oh, you can be a carnivore while watching Carnosaur.
Whoa.
Hey, I like that. All right, where's my assistant? Write that down.
Write that down. Copyright it.
Phyllis, write that down. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, we fired her.
We did?
Episode 2, where were you?
Oh, that's right. You know, it all kind of runs together here in the bathysphere.
Yeah. Pressure and all that.
It is. It is a lot of... Oh, you mean like actual pressure?
Like sea pressure.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pressure were you talking about?
Nothing.
Okay.
Never
all
mind.
right.
Now, that was my pick. So now I'm going to turn over the entire rest of this 5-hour podcast to my co-host, Manda, who is all about the dinos. So
I legitimately could have made this 5 hours, you know.
Oh, I know.
I decided that I wasn't going to, just for your own sanity, because I'm a kindosaurus. No?
Yeah, you did that earlier.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so there are 2 ways we could have gone this, right? We could have gone Jurassic Park. Huge explosions, super Hollywood, or we could have gone more like learning. I chose in both of mine to go more learning. And here's the reason why. I love Jurassic Park. That is no series or secret. It
is not.
It is not. But I love entertainment. I love to be thrilled. I love to be scared. I love that. But not all the time. Sometimes my brain just wants to learn as much as I can hold in it.
We love learning.
We love learning. PBS is my favorite. Sponsor us.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. In any case, so I got a couple of choices. My first one is probably one of my all-time, if not my favorite dinosaur programs ever. Okay? I was 13. It was 1999. And it's called Walking with Dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's from the BBC. It was originally, I think, broadcast in 1999 and then came over to the States a year later. Narrated in the UK by Kenneth Branagh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes. Midsummer Night's Dream is one of my favorite things, but also my generation would probably know him from Harry Potter.
Yeah, or the director of Thor.
Yeah. Blown mind. Couldn't even believe it when I found that out.
A 7-ton male Stegosaurus. He too is a herbivore, but very dangerous. The large plates on his back are primarily there for display. It is the meter-long spikes on his tail that make him so lethal. These he can wield with devastating effect, despite having a very small brain for his body size. The creche moves further down the canyon, away from the Stegosaurus. But 2 Allosaurus have also been drawn here by the smell of prey. Confused and intimidated by the herbivore's display, the Allosaurus backs down.
And then also when it came over to the States, it was re-recorded by someone called Avery Brooks, who I guess was on
Brooks. Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Captain Sisko.
Yeah, no idea what that means, but apparently it's a good thing.
You know what? Because of this, because you get to do your dinosaur show, I'm going to get to do a Star Trek show. And you're just going to have to sit there and listen like I'm doing right now.
It's going to be so quiet on my end. Anyways. All right. So let's see if we can narrow this down because it's so important that people watch this. 1, it's fantastic. And 2, it was filmed and I think presented in the style of a serious documentary. Now, what do I mean about that? Of course, dinosaurs are serious. They're real. We've proven that, right? But again, most of these things will go towards the more fantastical side, especially in the representations of the dinosaurs themselves, and also catering to the more populace, right? So like the more T-Rex. Everybody loves T-Rex. Everybody loves a great fight between a T-Rex and a Triceratops and all these things, right? Or my favorite is T-Rex and a Stegosaurus. Fun fact, they didn't live at the same time.
Oh.
The Stegosaurus lived about 60-odd million years before the T-Rex, who was more like late Cretaceous. And anyways, I'll get to that in a minute. It's part of my fun facts. But in any case, this is a 6-part series. It includes dinosaurs, their lives, and the lives of their contemporaries in the Mesozoic, which of course encompasses the range of geological time from about 252 million to about 66 million years ago. That's the Mesozoic era.
I thought the Earth was only 6,000 years old.
Oh my God. Anyways.
I need deprogramming. I'm sorry.
Where is the reset button on you?
Oh.
It is filmed using, at the time, now of course this was 1999, but at the time, cutting edge graphics, computer generated graphics, to the point where it was unheard of that these representations of the animals would be so realistic and so mind-blowing, that you could, it's like, for example, when you first watched Lord of the Rings,
yeah,
or really the Two Towers, and you saw a Gollum and you were like, wait a minute, this is so good, I don't even know this is a CGI character. It was kind of like that for folks back then. I think I remember watching it when I was in high school, because it was presented in, I think, in my bio class, at least one of the episodes, and because each episode was kind of like let's say the beginning of the Mesozoic, which was kind of like, I couldn't even imagine, but like, we're talking, I don't know, like deep sea creatures and, things like that. Then we move into more like the land creatures. Then we move into more like, T-Rex and so on and so forth. But whatever period of I was learning in biology, that one of those episodes corresponded to it. So we watched it. So I kind of just started loving it from there. But 6 episodes, and they give, I want to say, a more as realistic as you can be view into the lives of specific groups of dinosaurs, really all up until their demise, which happened about 66 million years ago with the KPG event, otherwise known as the Cretaceous Paleogene Extinction Event.
Of course.
Yes. That is, when it's theorized that a giant asteroid hit the Panama Canal and wiped out Earth. Well, basically all living things that were not in the sea, most of them survived, and also like non-avian dinosaurs. So, of course, there's avian dinosaurs and non-avian dinosaurs. Avian meaning pertaining to bird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's funny that you mentioned that movie Carnosaur was talking about using a chicken, because, of course, chickens are basically feathered dinosaurs.
And they're delicious.
Yes, especially fried. I also like mine grilled sometimes.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. I would say that I am a connoisseur of dinosaurs in all fashions because, I eat chicken. All right. Anyways.
Please continue.
Please continue. So, this was so popular. It won so many awards, including an Emmy Award, an actual Emmy Award for sound editing, for Best Outstanding Non-Fiction Sound Editing. It also won like a bunch of BAFTAs, which is the British version of our television award show ceremony thing. And a lot of those were for innovation. Like, it was that popular. People were so excited. We had educators. We had... scientists, paleontologists, everyone was praising this show because it was for all generations. Literally anybody found excitement and pleasure in watching this, from the youngest kids to their adults, to their parents, right? Side note, I did read an article recently in Apple News which told me that if a child exhibits a love and obsession for dinosaurs past the age of 3, they're going to have a higher IQ.
No way. You read that?
I legitimately read it. And typically it's more towards boys, but girls can love dinosaurs too. It's 2019, people.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Anyways.
Keep writing 18 on my checks.
Yeah, well, doesn't you hate when that happens, though?
Yeah.
It takes me about 6 months to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so the greatest thing I think to come out of this, too, is like just so mind-blowing to me because I haven't lost that love of dinosaurs. They did a live show where they had giant animatronics, puppets, like huge realistic looking dinosaurs that were all centered in a stage, and they would walk around. You get to see the interactions between, like, I don't know, I think it's like like, why are you filming me? This better not be like, blackmail later.
I'm doing nothing.
Oh, okay. So, and I think they went on tour from like 2000 to like 2013, somewhere around there. I never got a chance to see it, but apparently it's amazing. Also, guess what is coming to the East Coast next year?
Dinosaurs?
Jurassic World Live.
What? No.
Yes.
How is that possible?
So, on a similar vein, they're going to have giant giant animatronic dinosaurs. It's just going to be an explosion of the franchise in a theater, right? It's amazing. So my tickets have already been bought. They've been bought for a couple of weeks since they announced them, obviously. And on the ticket, it says specifically, anybody over the age of 13 is not allowed to dress up in costume.
What?
They literally dictated that in the ticket. I'm not even joking. So there goes my plans.
No cosplay?
No cosplay. Can't be a T-Rex this year.
That's a bummer. Not even those little... You know what? I think they're worried about those inflatable costumes.
I really do. In all seriousness, they probably don't want people like catching themselves on fire or like having to blow themselves up all the time.
Because, you know, those inflatable dinosaur costumes are cute, but they're also really super obnoxious.
They really are. But I do enjoy seeing the T-Rex do like everyday things. Like I've seen a video on YouTube where T-Rex was driving a tractor, T-Rex going to McDonald's, like all these funny things.
But that was funny like for a while.
Yeah, admittedly it's over now.
Yeah.
I totally get that. So that is a fantastic series. It's so realistic, it's so informative, and it's not boring. It's not the typical like, okay, lecture me. Even though I love that style, I know that everyone doesn't. It's just, you have to check it out. So scores, right? IMDb gives it an 8.5. Metacritic did not have a rating, which is okay, whatever. Rotten Tomatoes, are you ready? 94% audience score.
That's impressive.
94%.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, on the Mandameter.
On the Mandameter. I'm sure that you are very surprised by this.
Not at all. No.
But I think it's fantastic. It's one of my first memories into my like adult teenage lifehood area that I can really remember thinking, yep, this is what I want to do when I grow up. This is what I love. Unfortunately,
that didn't work out.
It did not, but I went to school for history, so I kind of, but not really. Yeah, never mind. Anyways, where can you watch this? You can buy it straight from the BBC, which is amazing because they still carry it. You can buy it on DVD actually through the BBC. You can also watch it for free on something called the Curiosity Stream.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a paid subscription, but they have tons and tons of things that are obscure for learning purposes. So I logged in, created an account, and on the first, like the homepage, you can find out how Nikola Tesla made some of his coils, like the in-depth manufacture of it. Again, curiosity for the mind, that kind of thing. And it's also available for purchase on Apple iTunes for $10.99.
Wow, the whole series?
Yeah, all
Cool.
6 episodes.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was so good. I loved every single episode. So there is one thing I will caution you against, because do you remember Ace Ventura, the second movie?
No, because I blocked it out of my memory.
Okay, well, let me refresh you. He gets stuck in a rhino.
Oh, yeah, that I remember.
And has to essentially give birth to himself.
Yeah.
There are a couple of scenes of dinosaurs giving birth, which you may find uncomfortable.
Not so much as the dinosaur.
Yeah, you know, dinosaurs, whatever. But please watch it. Give it a shot. You're just not going to be disappointed.
Now, do those dinos give birth naturally, or did they have to have a C-section or Cretaceous section?
That was actually really amazing.
Thank you.
That was really, really good. I have no complaints against that.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's nice.
All right. Did you have another pick?
No.
Okay, then.
Because I figured you were probably just going to dominate this entire thing. And I was right.
Well, let me go on to my second pick.
Sure.
Shall we?
Sure.
So, my second pick is... This guy's a personal hero of mine. Have you heard of Sir David Attenborough?
Yeah.
Obvious, right? So Netflix just released, I believe last year, a new documentary with him series. It's called, well, actually in the UK it's called Attenborough and the Giant Dinosaur. However, we're going to refer to it today by PBS's title, Raising the Giant Dinosaur.
A few years ago, a man found a simply gigantic bone that was going to astonish science. Absolutely amazing. That first bone led to the discovery of others. They could only have come from a dinosaur. What a thrill it must have been to see it when it was alive.
So, basically, Sir David Attenborough, and if you didn't know, he's got a numerous amount of titles. He's a Lord of the Realm, Protector of the Realm, Sir of this. He's just a fantastic guy. He's worked for the BBC for God knows how many years. He's in his 90s, still doing TV programs, and he is the brother of the late amazing Richard Attenborough, who happens to be John Hammond from the Jurassic Park franchise.
That's exactly right.
So, this one, he is in Patagonia, which, by the way, is a beautiful country from what I've seen in this. It's just amazing. And basically the story goes, a farmer found this giant rock poking out of the ground. He's like, well, I'll see what that is. Turns out it's a ginormous thigh bone from a titanosaur.
Ooh.
Titanosaur is a sauropod, so it's a quadrupedal, long-necked dinosaur. It's huge. It weighs like, I don't know, 70 tons, something like that.
Is there going to be a quiz on this later?
There might be.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's just intertwined, these facts. Anyways, he's there discovering it, and he's helping the team kind of dig through the rubble, recreate the dinosaur using really up-to-date 3D technology. In fact, some of the shots have Sir David Attenborough on like this giant... I don't even know what you would call it. Like a giant... What are those things that like lift you up when you're working on a telephone cable?
Like a cherry picker?
Yeah, kind of something like that. And then he is looking out into like this void, but really you're seeing the 3D representation of this giant dinosaur. But it gives you an internal view of its heart, its lungs, its bones, its nerve system. It's so cool. But throughout that, you get to learn some more facts, right? Turns out, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's really important that you know this. This is, to date, the largest dinosaur ever discovered. It's larger, 10% larger than the Argentinosaurus, which was discovered, I think, I don't even know, a long, long time ago. And they pieced together almost all of it. Now, unfortunately, like with many fossil hunts, they weren't able to get a giant complete skull. So they had to kind of, interpret using other dinosaurs, modern day birds, reptiles, etc., etc. And what they came up with was like just absolutely fantastic. And once again, the CGI and the 3D graphics are absolutely on par. It's amazing. He's super informative. Like just... Oh, yeah. Like, he's just an all-around really cool guy. Like, I kind of wish he was my grandfather. No offense to my grandfather. Rest in peace. But I kind of just wish that he was, like, in my life. He just brings me joy. Just, like, listening to him. He's so smart. He's so... Asks, like, really poignant questions. Sometimes you watch these documentaries and you're like, what does that have to do with anything? But he literally asked a question that I was thinking while watching it. So cool. Huh. So cool. So it's on Netflix right now, and it's for free. So if you have a subscription to Netflix, you can also buy it, I believe, through the BBC as well, and also through PBS. So you got to check it out. He's amazing. I love him. He's in his 90s, like I said, doing these programs. I mean, just watch it. It's fantastic. And also, again, I know more towards the learning side, not necessarily the more Hollywood side, but that's where I had to go, That's where my heart went. So, let's see. Scores. IMDb gives it a 7.9, which I think was unfair because I know it was only an hour, but it could have gotten a little bit more. Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic didn't have enough reviews, which is totally fine because it's not actually super old. It's really recent. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Again. Surprise.
Once again, not shocked at all.
Because I love it. The length was great. The content was amazing. David Attenborough is just so fun and so awesome and so clever. And it was something I hadn't seen before, which was actually the process of excavating all the way through to the recreation. And you'll get to find out there are many teams around the world that were involved in this. People in California and in Canada were all involved in the recreation of this giant, plaster dinosaur. So my two picks... Oh, guess what? It's also free on the Hoopla app, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know we talked about that a while ago. And it's something... What was the song called? What's with the Hoopla? Or?
Knee Deep in the Hoopla.
Yeah.
The album from Starship.
Yeah.
That has...
that song. What's that song called?
Song.
We built this city.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
We built this city.
Remember the Muppets redid that, though? And that was pretty good?
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's in their movie. Anyways, so those are my two... picks, although I had way more content. I just want you to know, out of the kindness of my heart, I shortened it for you.
All right. So, okay. On that note, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure that aside from the sort of more non-fiction-y dinosaur stuff, you probably have some that you, on the fiction side, would have, liked to have highlighted as well.
Well, I'm so glad that you mentioned that.
Really?
I am, because I do have this section called Honorable Mentions.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. So, let's see. If you have somehow escaped Jurassic Park.
And frankly, you've been in a coma for 30 years.
Yeah, where have you been? You have to see this, okay? Because it is the epitome of cool Hollywood dinosaur. Also, Jeff Goldblum. Like, hello?
How do you go wrong with that?
I mean, honestly. Then, of course, you also want to see The Land Before Time. Because every Don Bluth film will make you cry.
Yes, it will.
But it will stick with you forever. Which is probably not a great thing, because I still cry about this. But just watch it, okay? Because Littlefoot is so cute, and he's so tiny, and I love him. I also decided that an honorable mention would be We're Back. I don't know if you've seen that. It's an animated film where dinosaurs actually come back to like mid-century and they can speak, and they just watch it. It's also on Netflix. And then I also thought you might get a kick out of The Last Day of the Dinosaur, which is an Animal Planet documentary.
Wow.
Available right now on their website. You can rent it. You can also find it bits and pieces on YouTube. And also, probably my favorite honorable mention would be Planet Dinosaur. It was narrated by John Hurt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which he was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is Ollivander, if people didn't know, but also a million other things.
Yeah.
So those are my things. I've got a couple of fun facts for you because I figure, we always need to roll out with a couple of fun facts.
Sure, but before we do that, I have 2 honorable mentions of my own.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I'm surprised, but I'll allow it.
Okay, number 1, the early 70s comedy Caveman, which stars Ringo Starr and Dennis Quaid as 2 cavemen. Yes. Now, of course, this is not historically accurate because we're dinosaurs there with the cavemen.
No.
But it is one of the most ridiculous comedies I've ever seen. It's just, if you can find it, watch it because it is so dumb but so crazy funny. I mean, it's Ringo Starr.
He's
as
more
a caveman.
I get that, but Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid as the handsome caveman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's no English spoken in the movie. It's all in their cave language.
Like grunting?
Yes. It's hilarious. The other honorable mention could very well be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That's Theodore Rex.
Oh, my
with
God.
With Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
Where it's a reality where dinosaurs evolved and humans evolved.
He wears sneakers too.
He wears sneakers. And they're cops, and it's just so bad.
Oh God!
But it's one of those where you just park your brain, watch it, see how long you can last,
right,
until you turn it off. So yeah, Theodore Rex.
That is so good. I wish that I had thought of that.
Rex.
Or the Dinosaurs show. Do you remember that?
It was, the Dinosaurs TV show.
Jim Henson
ABC.
puppets. Yeah.
Very bleak ending on that one.
Yeah.
So if you
not the
I'm the baby, gotta love me, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
not the mama. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of a weird. Yeah. That was a weird show.
It really was because it towed the line.
Yeah, it's just so strange.
Like it was super adult sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my parents wouldn't let me watch it all the time.
It's just crazy.
But
so we got
those are good.
Those are a few on. So
those are really good.
Now let's hear some of your facts.
My fun facts.
Your fun facts. Well, we'll see about that.
So I think I already talked about when dinosaurs lived, right? Do you know what dinosaurs actually are?
They're carbon-based life forms.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't know where you're
they're
going with
a
this.
diverse group of reptiles, right? So they're not whales. They're not megalodons. They're not pterodactyls. Oh man, there's a whole episode I could do about like the differences between and what people think are dinosaurs. Whatever.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Okay, fine. I know this is my one episode I can dedicate.
Yes.
Okay. So in 1842, the English naturalist Sir Richard Owen coined the term Dinosauria, which is derived from the Greek dinos, meaning fearfully great, which I guess makes sense,
sure,
right? And saurus, meaning lizard, so like huge, giant, scary lizard.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Gojira. So I think that's pretty much it. But oh yeah, I think I already mentioned it too. It was already a fun fact. But like how some people think that T-Rex can fight a Stegosaurus, except Stegosaurus lived like millions of years before T-Rex.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have happened.
Most people actually do that. We lump dinosaurs into the same time period. But in fact, a lot of them didn't even cross. And of course, the way we know this is because they're fossilized in different levels of the earth. You know what I mean? Like volcanic ash versus like whatever, this and that. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But anyways, this was a great episode for me.
It is, but I have one more thing that I would like to add.
You have a fun fact?
No, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there have been several Jurassic Park movies released.
Oh man, I knew this was coming.
Rank them for me.
Oh, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Oh no, I can't.
You have no choice.
Oh,
you are on the air.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll go worst to best. Okay.
Fine, go right ahead.
Okay. Worst, Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay. Next would be... this is so tough. Please don't hate me, fans. I've got to go Lost World. I know. And here's the reason why. I loved Jeff Goldblum. I loved that movie. I'm not even... I truly did. But Roland Tembo just pisses me off. So I just can't. Next would be, believe it or not, Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
I do love the new movies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're great. I didn't like the ending of Fallen Kingdom, and I didn't like how disjointed it was. It felt like one movie, half of the movie was one movie, half was the other movie. Okay. Then, of course, we're going to go the first Jurassic World, and then Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, that was tough.
No, I know. I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
This wasn't planned, but you made it.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, all right. So we've come to that time in the episode where we like to do shout outs. And I think I'm going to do something called shout outs / check 'em outs, right?
Okay.
So we will shout out some people that we really, really like. For example, the Belligerents podcast.
Yes.
They gave us a huge shout out on one of their episodes recently. And thank you so much to those guys. Jay and Dean are hilarious.
They're so funny.
They really are.
It's a great family oriented podcast.
Do not lie.
I'm sorry.
It's called Belligerents for a reason.
It's filthy.
It's funny though.
Okay,
it's so funny, and honestly,
funny. Funny.
They're good friends of ours. Thank you so much for the shout out, guys.
Absolutely,
really
guys.
Appreciate it.
Guys
Go ahead
awesome.
and check them out on Apple Podcasts. I believe they're also on Anchor as well.
Yes.
I'd also like to say hi to Jay and to Enoch and to Raven, Wayne, a bunch of our subscribers. Mm-hmm. We have gotten so many cool comments on Instagram too by some more followers of other podcasts.
Exactly.
And they got to us from Podbean, which is amazing.
Right.
I love Podbean.
Yeah,
Podbean's our platform.
Great, platform for us.
They really are, and they take care of us. And look out for in September, they'll be featuring us too.
That's right.
Which is pretty awesome. And now for the check 'em out sort of things, I think if you are so inclined, go ahead and check out the website of the American Museum of Natural History, based in New York. That is amnh.org, and you can find so many cool things. I mean, obviously exhibits and whatnot, but like facts, classes there, and it's just really a great representation of the American side of Dinotopia, as it were. And then last but not least, I want to say a huge hello to two of my favorite podcasts ever, the Jurassic Park podcast and I Know Dino. So I obviously have mentioned them before too, because they're just really great to listen to, but specifically around this episode, the Jurassic Park podcast really encompasses everything that any fan would want to talk about. They have this cool segment called the mailbag where you can kind of call in, you can email in, you can tweet in all your questions and they will answer them. And it's really a diverse group of people that answer these things, but it's all fans. It's a huge community and it's really, really awesome. Hi to Brett, because he always lets me ask him questions on his Instagram live feeds and all that. And then also I Know Dino. Garrett and Sabrina are really, really clerically smart people. They're so awesome. They work really well together and they present the latest news, right? And so it's not geared towards Hollywood movies, blockbusters and all that, but it's really here's the latest news, the new dinosaur that's found, the new exhibit, the new museum, blah blah blah, whatever it is. And they also sent me a postcard last year.
Really?
They did, from New Mexico, and because they visited SVP, which is the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology. Essentially what they are is they advance sciences and I guess in the world of let's call vertebrate paleontology world. They do that.
Let's call it that.
Let's call it that, SVP for short.
Yeah.
So hi to I Know Dino and Jurassic Park podcast. Go and subscribe to them. I'm certainly going to tag them in this post.
Wow. Okay, then. So that's all for this episode of Dino Talk.
I know. I'm so sorry, but thank you for listening.
Next time we will revert to our usual format. Don't know what that's going to be yet, but we're going to figure that out.
To not appease me in my childish fantasy.
Wow. Okay.
I got so excited about that
that
episode.
in post.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to take another journey into the depths of streaming media on our next episode. But in the meantime, thanks for listening. Stay tuned.
Yes.
For Fiddlesticks, the only podcast spoken entirely in old-timey swear words. So that's going to be good. You got to stick around for that one, okay? The whippersnappers.
Oh, man.
All right. So, you ready?
Don't be vulgar.
No, of course not.
I'm ready.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Did you hear that?
What? See you next week.
Bye. Special thanks to Spirits of the Symphonic and Echocraft for our amazing theme music. Links to both artists can be found on our website, thedeepdivepodcast.podbean.com. If you like us, you can subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Overcast, or wherever fine podcasts are found. The Deep Dive Podcast is a production of Automaton Media.